We're gonna try. We're not only gonna talk about the lighter side of news. Every once in a while, we're gonna throw a random individual. I'm gonna try to throw a random individual in there, and we're gonna try to and we're gonna make a determination here on the podcast if they qualify as a light skin.
Okay.
Colin Kaepernick. Is he light skinned?
Who?
Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick. Colin. Sorry.
Colin.
Colin.
Motherfucker here, bro. You are damn.
Oh,
Wow.
shit. My bad. Colin.
So,
Colin.
Kaepernick, I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's all him.
It is all me. Listen, I fuck up, man. Players fuck up. Players fuck up. I keep them clean, though.
Yeah, he's light skinned. He's 100% light skinned.
I thought so, too. Like, he got a mean-ass fro. But he definitely is light-skinned.
I got a fro too. I don't mean nothing.
But your fro's curly. I don't know what your fro
It's
looks
a
like.
fro. It's curly because it's soft, but it's fucking.
Nah, yeah, you
Let
have a
me go
Jew.
swimming out. Let me go swimming in the beach. See how that shit come back out.
You have a Jew fro.
Hell no, man. You better watch your mouth, boy. You make me go there.
He's like, man, I'm gonna have to go with fro.
Hell no, I ain't got no Jew fro. They got bigger curls.
Listen, man, I think your curls are too curly still to be the kind of fro I'm talking about. You don't got the Kaepernick. I'm about to see this shit. You don't got the Kaepernick kind of fro. You don't have like a Foxy Brown kind of fro. You don't got a Shaft kind of fro.
You see me rock my fro?
No.
I see me rock my fro.
You got to show me that. You got. We have to see evidence. I think this game is gonna be over. We actually saw. Did we see Odell Beckham Jr. Get a touchdown?
It too.
I think we did, right? We saw Odell Beckham Jr. get a touchdown this game.
Yeah, you got the first one.
I think the LA, if I'm not mistaken, I think the LA Rams are undefeated when Odell Beckham scores a touchdown for their team.
Well, he scored 2 touchdowns. Yeah, they fucking Arizona went for 4th and 1 and fucking ran up the middle to go nowhere. I'm like, why? Like dumbass shit. Just dumb.
Okay, so now we're done. What was that? We're done with the lighter side.
Is Kyle Murray light skinned?
What's that? What do you want? Well, you know what? We'll qualify him next week or next show. Like I don't want to overdo it yet. We'll
Too much light skins.
Yeah.
Too many light skins.
I got enough lights on here. So yeah, so we're gonna give Colin Kaepernick the green light skin. Right. And say that he definitely does qualify as a light skin. Next week, next show, folks, or the next time that we have our lighter side of news, we're gonna qualify Kyler Murray. You go ahead and start giving us your comments in your feed, and let us know if you feel if Kyler Murray qualifies as a light skin or not. I think I may do a poll. Is Kyler Murray light skin? We're gonna see how everybody feels by next week Monday. But we'll qualify him way before then. He'll be here on the podcast. We'll let that poll run for a week. Let you guys have fun with that one.
Shit, talking about not light skin. Fucking Splash Brother. He's coming back real soon.
Also on the lighter side of news. Yes. You're talking about Clay Thompson. He is actually set to return for the Christmas Day game.
Yes, sir.
I know he was trying to come back a little bit sooner, and I know that he kind of was trying to like lobby for it if he could, but no, it looks like they're gonna play it safe. They're gonna keep it on pace, and he's gonna come back on that game, on the Christmas Day game. But folks,
he's been playing 5-on-5, so.
Yeah. But we're gonna go ahead and take a little quick break, folks, and move from the lighter side of news, folks, and talk about something that gets us all up, folks, and that happens to be Blue Chew, folks. What is Blue Chew? Blue Chew, that happens to be that little blue pill that can give you back all of your thrill. All you gotta do is open up one of these little packs and then head to the sack. Just a few chews before you do pineapples, right? This has the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so guarantee you when I tell you this is one opportunity that you just don't want to miss. She's going to love how you come through like a champ when you Blue Chew in advance. And if you use this week's promo code of DUPH, D-U-P-H, that's Delta, Uniform, Papa, Hotel, you'll be able to get your first order of Blue Chew for free on me, or basically from the folks here at MyT. So that you can stay, so you can hashtag stay MyT Blue Chew promo code DUPH. Get it while it's hot, folks. This promo code ends in 1 week. Blue Chew, chew it and then do it. Alrighty. Now let's switch gears, right? Let's go around a couple of leagues, right? We're watching Monday Night Football, right? We're seeing Arizona and the LA Rams, right? Both of those places happen to be really good weather states. So let's take a trip to another good weather state, and let's highlight one of Florida man's newest entourages, not entourages. Florida man's his newest.
I just remembered. I want to give a shout out on the fucking on the podcast for maybe you did it already. I don't know. I want to big up the soccer team in NYC for winning.
Wait. Okay, thank you. We'll get okay. Like you just have no structure. Like, oh, I remember some random sports shit. Let me spurt it out, even though it has nothing to do with what's going on.
When you get old, man, you gotta say when you remember that shit, because if not, you're gonna forget it, and then tomorrow I wake up like, fuck, I forgot to say it. Fuck that shit. I'm saying it.
Alrighty, thank you.
Who cares off topic? I'm saying the shit. Big up. Alright, go ahead.
Alright, so like you said, we're watching the LA Rams and the Arizona Cardinals, and these are two fair weather states, right? Nice weather states. So let's go ahead and go around the league and start in another nice weather state, right? And we're gonna start with one of Florida men's newest spokesmen, newest representatives, right? You might as well call him a goddamn Florida man protege, folks. Who was that? That is one Urban Meyer, folks. Urban Meyer is back in the news. And I'm telling you, he's doing it to himself. Because there really is no way that Jacksonville makes this amount of news unless you are either doing really good or unless you are completely fucking up. And Urban Meyer and the Jaguars ain't doing really good. So, bing bong, they fucking up.
You think Urban's fucking up?
Well, hold your question for a second. So, Urban Meyer very recently, after losing another game, apparently one of his inspirational speeches that he gives to his team was leaked. I'm going to go ahead and play a little snippet from that speech.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, because you are dirt. You make me sick, you big baby. Baby, want a bottle? A big dirt bottle? Why are you yelling at me? Loser, you're a loser. Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be. Loser.
Apparently, when he talks to his team, he talks about how he's the winner in the group. He is not the loser that his team represents to be. He is the winner. Basically, Basically, he describes his whole entire team as being losers, and he's the only winner in the room, and they're the reason why they're failing. Has nothing to do with him.
Who hired his coaches?
Who hired his coaches? He hired his coaches.
Exactly.
Now, Urban Meyer said that in his interview that he's not used to a lot of what's going on, right? Which obviously, because he comes from college, right? And we all know in college they're kind of coddled. But basically what he's basically saying is that he's not used to losing. He's not used to leaks. Well, two things. In college, you get to literally go out and recruit every single player by feeding them a bill of goods, by basically lying to a bunch of 17-year-olds and feeding on families' biggest dreams, right? You lie to them about what you're able to do, what you're going to do. And you manipulate some of the best players to come to you. That's why you're not used to losing. It isn't because you've actually had to build something and deal with whatever talent was handed to you, and then go out and make them into great players. Like, nah, see what happens when you can't just get all of the 5- and 4-star recruits? Nope, now you're working with some of the 1, 2, and 3-star recruits in the NFL. With a 5-star quarterback. Maybe. You're not used to leaks. Well, sorry, Pippin. You know the reason why you're not used to leaks in college? Because when you're a big college in a small town, you basically control the media. When one of your players get in trouble, they call you before they call the news. The local news individuals come to you to clear their stories. So why aren't you used to leaks? Because also you know if you had a leak within your locker room, that the person that they leaked it to is more loyal to you than they are to them. Then not only would they run with the story, but they'll tell you who leaked, so you can fire that person. That don't happen in professional level. Sorry. See what happened, Urban Meyer, is that you're used to being a child in this profession. Still. Well, sorry, you're no longer in a child's game of the child's portion of this game. You are now in the big boys league. And what happened? When they don't like your ass, they gonna talk about you. Coaches and players. And they gonna call up the news. And they gonna be like, hey, this motherfucker fucking up. We don't like him. He out here calling everybody fucking losers. Well, you hired me, you loser. He's not used to basically what he's trying to say. He's not used to criticism. What he's also saying, without saying it, is that he's not used to being challenged. He's just basically, he's like a spoiled chick. He's just used to getting his own way. And that's it. Which goes to probably tell you why there's been controversy that's probably followed this man around in other places. Because he's just used to doing whatever the fuck he wants to do carte blanche. Like go to another bar and feel up on other women when you know he's married. Like unless that's an agreement that you and your wife have, like you know what I mean? Like like what are you doing? You are a representative and a role model to young men that you went into their, like I said, you went into a bunch of people's homes and you fed them a bill of goods. Not only what you can do for them as for their career, but also how you was gonna help mold them as a man and be an example on what is right and wrong. Do you think it's right for you to be to be fucking elbow deep in some chick's crotch when you're married? Yeah. But see, when you was in the college level, you can do that and get away with it. That's your bar. That would have been your media covering it. They would have pat like, hey man, I got this image of you. I'm not gonna use it, but hey, calm down, B. Yeah, this could have been a whole lot worse if there was anybody else. Man, thank you for looking out for me. Hey, you gonna get free dinner for a whole year. And you know what? Free drinks for you tonight. Nah. Now you're dealing with national media. They just want their goddamn story. They deal with professional media. They just want to make headlines. They don't give a fuck about you personally. To you, you're just now a small fish in a big pond. And right now, you're nibbling on the tail of sharks trying to catch feces. And of course, you're not used to being challenged. Because again, when you run the city because you're that big college representative, you run the media, you run the local law enforcement, you know what I mean? Restaurants let you in and out, you don't have to pay for stuff, your house is paid for, everything's taken care of. None of the kids are gonna talk back to you because you hold their future in their hands. None of your coaches are gonna talk back to you because you hold their future in their hands. You're the most powerful man in the city. Now, you're just a regular schmuck that can't win a fucking football game. And when you're a schmuck that can't win a football game, you know what you end up being? An unemployed schmuck. There's no doubt Urban Meyer's a schmuck. He's like schmegma, if you know what schmegma is. What I'm more curious about, right, is Urban Meyer, since he's so collegiate, right, in his mythology, right, and how he thinks, he can't break his college ways. I wonder if he's gonna end up being one and done. Is this gonna be Urban Meyer's only year?
I was wondering that. I think it gotta be.
Right, if you're the
Gotta be.
obviously we know that he's not just gonna get up and quit. But if your ownership or this ownership group, management group, do you bring Urban Meyers back for another year of not only losing, but bullshit while losing? Because there's nothing worse than bullshit while losing. Like, ask Rex Ryan. Like, Rex Ryan as a head coach for the New York Jets, they put up with a lot of his bullshit because he was winning. The moment he stopped winning, they stopped putting up with his bullshit. Went to Buffalo, did that same bullshit, they booted him out of there quickly too. Wasn't winning enough. It's like anybody, like your bullshit has to be worth what you are. You have to be worth more than your bullshit. First, as soon as your bullshit is worth more than you, or you can't back up your bullshit, or you ain't productive enough to tolerate your bullshit, then guess what? Your bullshit walks. I don't know about Urban Meyers. I'm really curious to see if he's going to get a second. What's going on, Jack? Welcome to the podcast. I wonder if that's my homeboy, Jack. Now, speaking of football follies, there's a football story out there, right? I don't know if you guys heard, where there's a former football player that was arrested recently. And will be serving 3 years and 1 month in federal prison. It is one former NFL player by the name of Josh Bellamy, folks, and you can find this on this from the Associated Press on ESPN's website. This is where this story came across my radar, and I'm getting most of the information I'm sharing for you guys. They're able to source that quote. But as we went from one Florida man in Urban Meyers, we're basically going to another Florida man in Josh Bellamy, right? As Bellamy, age 32, was of St. Petersburg, Florida. He was sentenced Friday in Tampa federal court as he pled guilty for conspiracy to commit wire fraud. Besides serving time, not Bill Bellamy, but Josh Bellamy must also pay restitution. Bellamy, folks, to keep it
Bill Bellamy, come on, man.
Josh Bellamy, recently he played for the New York Jets, who was released.
Bellamy's a comedian, huh?
I know. And he was released by the New York Jets. I think when he signed with them, he signed a 2-year deal worth $5 million. He only played like 7 games before like fucking up his shoulder or some shit. Right? So, the reason why he was arrested, right? Josh Bellamy, he was getting money from those PPP loans in the amount of $1.2 million for his company, Drip Entertainment. So he falsified some documents, he falsified information, He had and he got his loan. Now I don't know if this is how they caught him in the loan, because obviously we all know a bunch of people. And he's gonna end up being 2 of 3 people we've heard being caught with this. I'm gonna give you 2 people today. We've heard of one. We've heard of one earlier this year. And he was out there buying a whole bunch of horrendous shit when they caught him. How they caught him. Well, Josh Bellamy was kind of the same way too. He was out here buying bling. He was at the hotel fucking gambling his ass off. Fucking renting a hotel and gambling at that motherfucker in the Seminole Hotel. Right? So, not only did he take out $1.2 million in loans, right? But he also paid like over $300,000 to I guess either a friend or somebody that he know, a co-conspirator, somebody by the name of James Stokes. Basically, he gave him like that money to help him fill out that paperwork. So basically, like how your tax dude takes money, like fulfilling taxes. Well, imagine if he did it on a percentage. Well, that was his percentage. That's a third of that money, damn near. $311,000. Well, that's not a third of one. That sounds like, is that a third or a fourth? That's neither. Something seems fishy here. We're gonna see how that number adds up. Right? So, but he paid off however James Stokes is that's related to him. Right? Now, as part of the same scheme, right? But kind of separately, another woman. We're keeping this in a Florida scene, right? Another random woman was also sentenced on Thursday to 2 years in federal prison for fraudulently obtaining a PPP loan. This one is named Yashika Bain. She's 38 and she is from, guess how close she lives, B? She's from Miramar. And she came guilty to fraud and she obtained almost $500,000 in PPP loans, $400,000. For her business, Micro Blading Brow Studio. Using falsified documents and false information, she admitted to paying Stokes more than $28,000 as a kickback. So this James Stokes was doing this for multiple people, and it looks like one of his clients. Oh damn! But Stokes was charged in 2020 with a wire fraud, bank fraud, and conspiracy to commit wire fraud and bank fraud. His case is pending. Bellamy has 70. Oh no, okay. Now more stuff about Bellamy. Okay, so as you guys know, right, that PPP loan was basically like forgiveness money that the government was giving away to a whole bunch of small businesses and whatever. And if you guys also remember, there were a lot of individuals that started their small business when they heard that it was going to give, when they heard it was getting PPP loan. Some of them, that's maybe when they fucked up, is that your business would have to be established for 4 years before you get like a PPP loan. That's the reason when I found out they was giving out PPP loans, something like that exists, I was like, you know what? Let me get my LLC together so I can at least have, so 4 years from now, I could be in position to get one of these loans if I want to. But it looks like more than anything that they got this guy James Stokes, who was basically filling out all the paperwork for everybody. They got him, and when they took him down, he started to leak names, and it sounds like one of his biggest names happens to be former NFL player, former New York Jet, Josh Bellamy. That's crazy. So, if this is, it makes me wonder, right? Because obviously Josh Bellamy is not a current player. So if they had a current player on here, you know that this is going to continue to go on. Because it sounds like to me that this Stokes guy is out here. James Stokes is out here snitching, and he's out here giving up names of everybody. It's like, hey, you can either get 65 years for the fraud in this government, or for every name that you give us, we can reduce your sentence by 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, however it is. And as you can see, he worked everywhere from North Florida down to South Florida. He was everywhere from, what did he say? From Tampa and St. Petersburg, Florida, all the way down here to Miramar. And when I say down here in Miramar, folks, Miramar is only 15 minutes away from where I'm currently at right now. which means that James Stokes should have hit me up. I could have used some of that PPP loan money, but I'm glad you didn't. I would have been on your list. I already got enough problems with the government. They already got me on their watch list for me protesting a couple of years ago. Now, that's basically me going around the football league. Now, if we go around the NBA for a little bit, right? And the people on Podbean, we're going to be losing you very quickly. And honestly, when I lose the Podbean feed, I may just be cutting everything out altogether. So Podbean people, mark and stay with me. There are some NBA rumors, and I think we are going to end this show on the NBA rumors that are going around there, folks. And the NBA rumors are generally still based around two key individuals, but we do have a third that just popped up in the NBA rumors as well, and that's been one by the name of Jeremy Grant, folks. Jeremy Grant is looking to be coveted by a couple of teams, one in particular, the LA Lakers. Stay tuned to see how the inner workings and the contract negotiations, or not even contract negotiations, but trade talks and trade negotiations continue to go for him. But Jeremy Grant is the only person the Lakers are looking into, folks. One popular name that's out there still is one Ben Simmons. And, folks, it has now ironically come to the attention of the world that the Lakers and now the New York Knicks are also interested in Ben Simmons. Now, there's two little ways I feel about this, right? And actually, before I even get there, there's also potential Kyrie Irving news that Kyrie Irving may be able to play this year. Don't know how, but we'll continue to hear about that. But let's go back to this Ben Simmons thing, right? There's a part of me that calls bullshit here. Now, as a Knicks fan, when I first hear this, I know there's a big part of me that wants to reject this, but there's a big part of me that also looks at this. I keep saying here on the podcast, he is a guard version of Rudy Gobert. When you want to talk about, when you want to think about him, or when you want to try to place him in a certain category, or even justify his money, he is like Rudy Gobert. He is a defensive all-star. He's a 6'9" point guard who is a defensive all-star. He can penetrate a defense. He can function all the way inside and dish out to guys on the wing very easily. And we know he's going to play defense. He's always been a defensive player. So, if you're a Knicks fan, I can see a fit there. Don't dismiss it so much. Trust me, it's basically it's a much better and much taller Alfred Payton, and I think you'll take it. Even though I'm using a name like Alfred Payton. The other one is the Lakers. I can see that as well. But that 19 mil, where are you going to clear out that money from, and who are you going to give it to, right? Like, where's that going to come from? But more than anything, you know what this sounds like to me? This sounds like big market shenanigans. And not that the big market is doing it. It sounds when agents use big markets to try to up their clients' trade value. Especially when you try to use teams like the Knicks and the Lakers specifically. I haven't heard anything about the Knicks possibly wanting Ben Simmons. And don't worry, listen, I'm gonna go start scouring my wires, right? And listening to all my sources, right? Get information from all of my sources and see what they say. See if anybody mentions Ben Simmons. But I haven't heard anything about him. So I think this may be his. I honestly believe that this is his agents, his representative group, throwing out the big markets in there to try to up his trade value. To try to either force Philly's hand or force somebody to the podcast. I'm out of here.